Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to show you how I made a couple of wreaths. Now I found this wreath here at a swap meet, and it cost me a whole $1, and I was just like, there's no way I'm only going to pay $1 for this. But it is true, $1. So I removed all of the fall themed items and the hot glue that you can see is stuck around the edges. It actually, with a little prying, it popped right off there. It didn't ruin the vines at all. So, but you can't get your hands on one of these for less than like 10 bucks. So I knew I had a good deal when I found it. So here I'm taking some Dollar Tree roses, and I'm going to cut 2 of each, but I end up using 4 of the blue, and blue is my favorite color, so that's why. But you can use any colors you want, and you can use as many as you want. But I wanted to do one that, like a swag, I guess, that goes from side to side. So the hanger, you can see there's a hanger right up above the top or bottom, however you're looking at it, I guess. Anyways, it has a hanger already on it, and I decided to do the flowers top to bottom instead of doing them all the way around, or just across the bottom. And then I'm going to put a bow there in the center. So I'm making, if I put one in one side, I put one in the other side. Try to make it look beautiful. So you have a light peach flower and a dark peach flower, and then the blue. So I'm not gluing anything in here because I am going to reuse the wreath form. I'd like to practice making the wreaths because I would like to start doing them for special occasions, and any occasion, holidays and special occasions. So I'd like to practice on this one since I have the opportunity to. So anyways, yeah, just figure out which ones you want. And I decided to put an extra blue in on each side, and then I have some eucalyptus from Walmart. And if you have, I don't know if your Walmart's the same as mine, but they've just taken all their greenery and just shoved them in on top of each other, and you can't tell how much anything costs, or you have to dig in just to find what you're looking for. And they got, the only thing they have there are those tiny little yellow, I think they're yellow markers there, and nothing matches up with it. So they did have some eucalyptus that was like $2.48, and then some that was only $98. I think this is the 98-cent one, but I am not sure. It was just a big mess. Their whole floral area was just a terrible, terrible mess. So anyways, this is very cost efficient. It didn't cost a lot to make. And if you've seen the price that wreaths go for, oh my goodness, they're terrible. So that's why I wanted to, make my own. I want to practice a little bit first. So here I'm just making sure that both sides are fairly identical and full. I want them to be full. And then I'm going to make a bow in the middle. Now, I recorded the making of the bow, and only to realize that my video recorder stopped recording. It said that there was no space, and it was very frustrating because I paused it, started it, paused it, started it, only to find out it didn't take any of it. So what I did was excuse me, what I did was I tore the bow apart and remade it for the camera. So this is just some Dollar Tree burlap ribbon, and I just folded it over for as many, as big as you want it to be. You're going to fold it over that many times. make sure it's an even number, or not. I guess you don't have to. So anyways, then I took this white ribbon. I'm not sure where I got that, probably Walmart, but the burlap was from the Dollar Tree. So anyways, I just folded it over to make, you make it as big as you want it to be. Each one of those folds is going to be tail, not a tail. I don't know, it's going to be a part of the bow. So get it as, as many or as few as you like. I'm not a big fancy bow kind of person, but some things bows really do look nice on, and obviously wreaths are one of those things. So here I'm just making sure I have an even amount, which I should have had because I counted it the first time I made it too. So anyways, you're going to cut these, you cut in a little bit on each side, and then take you can use a twist tie, a zip tie. Here I'm using a little piece of pipe cleaner. Gosh, I couldn't think. Chanel stem pipe cleaner. Just to, hold them together, and then you're going to start pulling them apart. Pull them apart and make it look the way that you want it to. Now after I started pulling them apart, I realized I could have used more bow. Sorry, I just took a drink of my pop and it was squirted right up my nose. Anyway, excuse me, the white ribbon is kind of collapses on me. It just kind of doesn't want to hold its shape, I guess. But I think the white ribbon I had enough, but the burlap I could have used a little bit more. And then those pieces there, you see the piece that's not, that are single pieces. You can just cut those off. Anyways, just spread it out the way that you want it. And I decided that I wanted to have a ribbon with a long tail. So I have that other piece of ribbon you see laying there. That came from Walmart. I had bought a long time ago. It came in a set of like 6 or 7 different bows for like $5.98 or whatever. So I'm going to take a piece of that and tie it into a simple shoestring bow. And here I am cutting the pieces off. So it, it'll lay down. And then there I'm trying to get my fold creases out. So I'm going to take this ribbon and make it into a shoestring bow, like I said. And I had already dovetailed the ends because I already had the bow completed. Now this, when I used hot glue to secure it down, it didn't want to stick for me. But I realized don't try to glue it in the center. Glue it to the, glue it up a little bit so that it's sticking to the top part of the ribbon. I think the part where the wire side of the ribbon didn't want to stick to that. So I'm just using a piece of floral wire to secure the bow on. And then I put the ribbon on from the way that I had it setting. There's a tail that I missed. And realized that I didn't have it, didn't have the wreath setting the way it'll be hanging. So I had to take it off the first time and reapply it because I had it just a little bit crooked. But this method didn't work anyways. I had to glue it up further on its loops to get it to stay. So, but it turns out really pretty. Very, very pretty. And these always give the appearance of like a big loop on the other side. Like you have the flowers all on this side, then the other side looks like it sticks out, but it doesn't. It doesn't look that way in real time. Anyways, I hope you like it. Now I'm going to make a nautical wreath. This one was very time consuming. So I picked this thing up at the Dollar General. I thought, well, I can use the pieces out of it to make a nice wreath. They were very hard to get out of there. The starfish weren't so hard because you had the starfish arms to get a grip on. But the sand dollars were really terrible. I ended up breaking that little wooden piece. It's just press board is all it is. It's not real wood. So we're going excuse me. So we're going to take a Dollar Tree nautical rope, the white rope, and we're going to pull the strands apart. So here I am taping up each one to make sure that they don't fray. And I don't know why I had such a huge piece of tape for that. But anyway, you're just going to take a little piece of tape and seal that up so it doesn't fray apart. Then we're going to pull those 3 pieces apart off of the nautical rope. And then once we're done with that, we're going to start on our Dollar Tree wreath form, and this is the big one. I should have used a smaller one. This was very time consuming, but if you have time, it turns out really, really nice. I just kept thinking through the whole thing, I should have made a smaller one. So I'm going to start off here only to realize that I didn't know which way I wanted to do it first, and that's a big mistake what I'm doing right there. You're better off just pull it by the strand, even though it takes longer, because it's so easy to get mixed up on which way you're going. If you grab that whole bundle of rope like that. So anyways, the pattern is 2 long, 1 small, and that's going to be at the bottom, and then you're going to have a small one at the top. So there I did the small, and then I realized I didn't do it right. So I'm going to re-stick this, but I'm going to stick it to the rope itself. It's the only way that it'll stay. And you want it to be completely dried before you start, because you have to twist and pull this rope. You got to be able to twist it and pull it. Okay, so I did 1 long, and now I'm going in between the outer 2 wires, and then another long, and then I'm going in between the inner 2 wires, and you're going to do this throughout. Now you're going to do a long one, and then in through to the outer 2, then a long one, and then in to the inner 2. You're going to do this all the way around. Nope. Yep. Yeah, so another long one, and then out around and down into the inner 2. When you first start with these rope pieces, it's really hard to keep them straight. So there's a full one, and then it's going to come up through the center. Here I get all messed up again. I say again, I messed up quite a bit. Actually, I shouldn't say that. I didn't mess up too bad. So you have 2 and then a small one, 2 and then a small one, and that's the way it works out with this pattern. So here I seen that my pattern was off. And as long as you keep looking back on your work, you won't have to worry about tearing too much of it apart if you do make the mistake. I honestly think I could probably say you're going to make a mistake, but you know, not everybody's like me. So but I get myself confused very easily. And here I'm going to show you again. You go down in. Oh, I'm showing you how to go across one of the bars when you switch to the different section. It's easy to do. So we're doing one full one, and then it goes into one of the shorter ones at the outer ring, 2 rings, and then you're going to go up and over, and then that immediately goes through to be a short one for the inner 2 rings. And then just keep looking back on your work to make sure that you haven't skipped any. Back in for the short one, then you do a long one, and then it goes into the small one at the inner ring, then another long one, same thing. Easy as all of that. Make sure that you're tight as you go, and you have to keep twisting this rope. You know, it comes unfrayed very easily. And here all we do is just glue that, pull it tight and glue it. Now when we put the other piece on, we want that piece to be coming in the same direction that the other one was coming. So you can make an, you know, if you remember, if you make an X on the back with your tails there, which I actually don't make an X, but it could have been in the shape of an X, and you want to let that glue dry completely, because you have to be able to pull it tight and twist it. So make sure that it's completely dry before you start, and then you're just going to start the same thing over again. Wherever you left off, it's not just you're starting at a certain, you know, spot each time, wherever you left off. And here I get it all mixed up because I had it all in a big wad there, and I think I got it. Nope, I don't got it. And I did this, I probably did this 3 times throughout the whole thing, which really wasn't bad compared to the last time I did one of these. But I ended up just taking it completely back. And I think I know what I'm doing, then I turn around and grab the wrong one again. And then after I get it all fixed, I put my hand out, and what I was saying was, easy as all that. Okay, try it again. See, it's very easy to get mixed up and start pulling on the wrong string. You know, when your string is long at that point. So anyways, you go back to the pattern. You're going to do that pattern all the way through, pulling it tight, you know. Just watch your pattern. Then you get to the end, you just want to glue it off. You know, try to match up the end to make it you know, part of the pattern. So here it is with the starfish and the sand dollars on it. You know, not glued down yet, of course. So, you know, figure out where, you know, if you have a spot that you go back over and you see that you know, mess the pattern up or whatever, just make that your top. or your bottom where the bow is going to be, or you know, whatever. So I got this little seahorse at the Dollar General for $1, and I want to take that string off since it's not white. It doesn't match my you know, the rest of my stuff. So I'm just going to wedge the staple and then pull it out. And then I'm going to take a piece of the white nautical rope, and I'm going to figure out how low I need that to hang on my wreath so that I can use it so it doubles as a way to hold the starfish on as well as hang the wreath. So see there, I want it to be short enough that it sits behind the wreath. And then once I figure out where, you know, where I need it to be, I'm going to glue that onto the back of the did I say starfish? Of the seahorse. I think I was calling it a starfish. Oh, I'm sorry if I did. Anyways, the seahorse. And, you know, I thought about painting the seahorse, but then I may not be able to get it looking as good as it does. So you don't have to add the seahorse. You can add whatever you want on there. I just thought the seahorse looked really cute. I also have an anchor, but I decided on the seahorse. I am going to make another one of these. I think I'm going to use the smaller wreath forms though, because it was a lot of work. And you can't watch TV while you do it because you get confused. At least I do. I get confused on where I'm at. And my son had called. I was talking on the phone while I was doing it, and I messed up like 3 times while I was talking to him. So it's really something that you have to pay attention to if you want to keep that pattern. So anyways, I'm just seeing where I want my starfish to be. Then I ended up only using 2 of the sand dollars. Still got a couple of them left, but man, were they hard to get out of that little box thing. I tore that box apart. Just trying to get the pieces out of it, the sand dollars. So anyway, when I do the bow on this, I'm just going to make a, you know, it's a pretty easy bow. I would probably change the bow. Which I probably will change the bow on this, or maybe add a white bow on top of this. But I do like the way it looks. The blue matches the seahorse. So the zip tie in the middle is too tight. I couldn't get my bow to fluff out. So, you know, maybe use a Chanel stem or some floral wire, something like that. But I got mine a little bit too tight. I was on the phone there with my son, so I think that's probably why I got it too tight. I really zipped that tie. I accidentally cut into one of my bows when I did that, so be careful. See, it won't fluff, it won't stay apart, so it's just a little bit too tight. Like I said, I might change the bow, but anyway, so I took a piece of ribbon, and folded it in half, and then put it across my center, and that makes the center of my bow. And then I'll cut off the excess. Now that ribbon I did get from Walmart, and it was in the dollar bin. It's not the best ribbon in the world, but it's pretty. So anyways, the glue, the hot glue does not go through it. You can feel the heat, but it doesn't, the hot glue doesn't seep through it. So you have to, when I folded it over, I had to glue both the inside of it and the outside, you know, to get it to stick right. So now I'm going to make some tails. Just figure out how big you want how long you want your tails to be. And glue that to the bottom. Sorry, my medication gives me dry mouth. I apologize. Yeah, figure out where you want your tails to be, how you want them to be, how long you want them to be. And then, you know, like I said, the glue doesn't come through this ribbon, so I had to glue it to the bottom, and then I had to glue the two pieces, you know, that I folded over. I had to glue both of those also. So here it is with the bow on it. And then I'm going to dovetail the ends. I think it turned out very pretty and very economical. I used not even quite 1.5 rope. 1.5 ropes, right, 1.5 ropes. Not quite 1.5. And the starfish being the most expensive thing, that was $5 for that package, but you can get them cheaper than that. I just had it on hand. And then $1 for the little starfish plus the seahorse plus the ribbon. And there you are. I'd like to thank you so much for watching. I hope you'll come back and see me. Please hit like and subscribe.